I don't get it.
Podcast. Today's show is brought to you by Unbound Box. Visit unboundbox.com and enter promo code GETIT at checkout for 20% off your first purchase. Hello, everyone.
Welcome to the I Don't Get It podcast. Today we have the Barbara Walters special of Bachelor Nation. We have Jade and Tanner Tolbert coming on the podcast just 1 week after their daughter, Emmy Tolbert, was born. Emerson, if we want to be proper. Emmy's her nickname. And she is truly the most remarkable baby I've ever seen in my life. Best
looking baby I've ever seen.
Yeah, best looking baby I've ever
seen. Stunning.
I'm like not a huge baby person. I will be obsessed with my own, but like I don't get affected by other people's babies. It's cool because this is the first child that's like come into my life, who I'm friends with both parents. It's just like insane. And I feel such a connection to her. When I first saw her, I start crying and Naz recorded it and then Tanner tweeted it. And it's just so emotional. I can look at her all day long.
Ashley has already bought many baby gifts. It was so funny. It was like the second she came out, Ashley was like, little dress, little dress, little dress.
My mom is like always buying like friends' grandkids stuff. And I'm like, Mom, what the heck? Stop it.
And now you're your mom.
And now I'm my mom.
So
funny. She was like, now you understand.
Yeah. You guys already know this, but literally I feel like Emerson Tolbert is the actual real life Gerber baby.
Well, she is like a Gerber.
And because she's Jade and Tanner's child, like I feel like she actually will be the next Gerber.
She
like
certainly
I
could
feel
be.
like she has to be a baby commercials or something.
I think she's going to be the next Princess Diana.
She really could be. But like Jade,
but Jade is already like Princess
Jade
Di.
is Princess Diana. If people knew Jade better.
Yeah, that's true. Well, maybe she'll be the Bachelorette one day.
Oh my God, wouldn't that be absolutely remarkable?
But her face is just so pretty. She's so pretty.
She's otherworldly. She's like
she's
Renesmee.
otherworldly. She's Renesmee from Twilight, and I was joking with Jared yesterday because he looks so much like a wolf. I was like, Jared, wouldn't it be amazing if the reason you were so attracted to Jade in the beginning is because you were meant to be with Renesmee, aka Emerson? And I'm like, you're going to imprint on her the second you meet her. And he's like, please do not ever repeat this because Tanner's going to think it's so weird.
But then he was like, but then again, Tanner might like it.
Yeah,
Tanner's weird
he's
like
like
that.
he has weird humor like that.
Yeah.
I love that you just shared it on the podcast. What's up, Jared?
Wait for Jared to see Emmy for the first time and us to like look at his reaction to see if like he's getting these overwhelming senses of like love and protection.
So gross.
It's crazy.
I could actually see it happening. He looks so much like he could have played Jacob. It's crazy.
It's so crazy. But since you guys all know we had Jade on our podcast to talk about her first trimester, it has all come full circle. There is a bachelor baby in the world out of Jade's vagina made by Jade and Tanner, and we're going to call them right now and get all the details.
All right, let's go.
Ready, set, go.
Yeah, we have Jade and Tanner on the line, new parents.
Congratulations, guys. She's absolutely stunning. I know you've been hearing that all week.
Guys, how does it feel to
great.
be new parents?
I'm just glad she looks like Jade.
She's just,
I think she looks like Tanner.
I think she's a perfect mix.
Yeah.
you guys, I can't stop looking at her. I screenshot every story of yours so that I just have like all these pictures of Emmy in my photo album. It's the weirdest thing.
That's so cute, though.
And slightly creepy, but it's
I
okay.
know. It's so funny. Like I've never been like affected by a birth of a baby before. Like I've just never been like a huge baby person when it's not, well, my own child. And for some reason, like I'm so emotionally affected by her.
Well, you were kind of there for a lot of the steps along the way.
Yeah.
How tired are you guys?
Insane. Yeah.
What's what?
How tired are you guys?
Oh, it's pretty bad, and I sleep a lot more than Jade, so I can
Aw. I would be.
Yeah. Well, it just depends. Like some nights are really good, and I'll get like 6 hours of sleep. I mean, I've had the baby for a week. I talk like I've been doing this forever, but but like I'll get like 3 hours here or 3 hours there. But the other night it was like every hour she was up, and I was like, oh my gosh. But it's definitely worth it.
That's so crazy. Can we go?
Everything that we've seen so far is just her sleeping. She looks so relaxed, like she doesn't
Yeah, I
cry,
feel like she doesn't even
except
wake
for that
up.
one Instagram.
Yeah, she only opens her eyes like an hour a day.
Oh.
Yeah, newborns mostly sleep all the time, so
That's good. We want to go back, though, to the moment where your water broke. Like, how did it happen? Where were you? Tanner, where were you? Like, how did it all go down?
Yeah, we don't even want to ask you guys questions. We just want you to tell us the story.
It was crazy. I let Jade tell it because I was sleeping through a portion of it. So
No.
Jade
Yeah. Okay, so it was last Wednesday night, and I was sleeping, and like at 3 a.m. I woke up and my water was broken. Like I was just like, I just woke up in bed and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like, is that my water? Like, because I was 36 weeks, so I thought I had another month to go, and I had gone to the midwife the day before, and she told me that I was fine and that everything was good, and so I went to the bathroom and I was like, well, maybe I just peed myself because her head was positioned in my pelvis. So I'm like, maybe she just pushed on my bladder, and a bunch more came out in the toilet, and it looked kind of like if you poach an egg and like the egg white is kind of in the water.
Okay.
And
Nasty.
yeah.
Tanner.
So I was like, oh my gosh, I think my water broke.
But did it hurt before it was breaking, before the water broke?
I don't know, because I guess nothing hurt because I was just uncomfortable like the 2 days prior, and so I was getting Braxton Hicks contractions anyways for like weeks. So
that all happened at like 3, and then she woke me up I think at like 4 and told me like, hey Tanner, like I think this happened, and I was dead asleep, and I thought she was full of shit, so I just told her to go take a bath and calm down.
That would have been exactly my advice.
Oh my God, I would literally be fuming.
Well, actually, I took the bath before I woke you up. I took the bath before I woke him up because I wanted to make sure, and I started timing my contractions, and they were 4 to 5 minutes apart, which is like active labor.
Yeah.
So I'm going into active labor immediately, and so I wake him up, and that's when he was like, "No, you're fine." He goes, "Go eat something." So I went downstairs and I made some tea and I ate something because if I was having the baby now, I was a week early from being able to deliver at the birth center, so I'd have to deliver at the hospital, and they don't let you eat when you're in labor.
At the hospital? Yeah, they don't. You have to
Yeah.
wait till you're done, right?
You can't even drink water.
No.
No, you can't even drink water. So I was worried about that. So I ate a bagel.
Oh,
and
yeah, that would have been my go-to.
And I drank some tea, and then I came upstairs and I was like, Tanner, no, this is for real happening. So he got up and we called the birth center.
He's like, fine, I'll get up.
He's like, the peanut butter and jelly didn't work?
I thought she was full of shit because like the past 3 weeks she's been pretty not to be mean, but whiny because she's been feeling pretty bad and crampy and stuff. So I thought it was just like a bad case because it's kind of like the boy who cried wolf.
Yeah, and I was like, no, I'm serious. I wouldn't have woken you up if I didn't think this was really happening because I knew that's probably what his reaction would be. So this was like 5 o'clock by now. So it was like 2 hours since my water broke, and we head over to the birth center, and they check me, and I'm like 3 centimeters dilated. She's like, it's definitely happening.
Okay, wait, I'm confused. The birth center, you can do at this point?
So I couldn't. So
Okay.
I still wanted my midwife to deliver for me.
Okay.
So they have an affiliation with a hospital that she's allowed to still go with me and deliver in the hospital room.
Interesting.
Yeah. So she was still able to, one of the midwives, who was like my favorite one, she was able to be on call and meet us at the hospital. And so she still was able to deliver Emerson, but we drove over there.
So we finally got there at 7. So all these kind of far apart contractions were 4 hours over the morning. But then when we finally got to the hospital and it was go time, it was 7:30, maybe 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then Jade went into complete and utter pain. It was pretty funny. I'll have to send you a couple videos after.
Oh my God.
Funny?
I'm obsessed with Tanner. He's the best ever.
Wait, but just to go back for a second,
so
Jade, what
dry.
does a contraption feel like?
Contraption.
I mean, what did I say?
Contraption.
Contraction feel like.
Oh, yeah.
Well, so I've been having the Braxton Hicks contractions, which are false labor contractions for weeks. And everyone told me, they're like, you'll know when it's real labor. And I don't know how to describe it, but so everyone told me that I would feel it from the top of my uterus down, but I didn't feel it. She was already so low that if it just feels really intense, like period cramps, but also like throb. It's like this weird throbbing because like your cervix is opening, right?
Do you know what my cousin said on our podcast that you were on? She said it feels like a Charlie horse in your vaginal area.
Yeah, I could see that. But they make your body kind of seize up. So like when you're actually having one, and they only last for like a minute, but your whole body just is like, you seize up. Like it's just your whole focus just goes to that pain.
Oh, that's crazy. And Tanner, what were you like running around filling up a bag? Like what was your experience before you guys got to the hospital?
Yeah, because I mean, people always talk about they have a bag packed and the car ready to go, blah blah blah, but we had none of that because we're a month early. So I literally threw a few things in like a plastic grocery bag.
Speaking of baby making, today's show is brought to you by Unbound Box. The Unbound Box is pretty cool because it gives you some sex toys that you'd be pretty embarrassed to buy at the sex store in a little box delivered to your door. And you can try things out like a little shower waterproof vibrator that is pretty good.
Yeah. So I mean, not to get gross here, and I know we have Jade and Tanner on the line, but like the vibrator is bomb.
The Unbound Box is a quarterly subscription box, which is awesome because you can get like new sex toys every quarter, and you can experiment with new ones you didn't think you'd actually like.
If there's any box to subscribe to in life, let's be real,
It's
this
true.
is the one.
You don't want to go to a sex store with all the creepy old men and be like, I need a new vibrator, and then go in with sunglasses on. You just get this delivered right to your door. And Unbound tests hundreds of products and carries only the top selections in their dozens of collections online. All products are satisfaction guaranteed and body safe. If you don't like it, you can return it. Wash it first. So for 20% off your first Unbound purchase, visit unboundbox.com and enter promo code GET IT at checkout. Enjoy.
And we were out because it was like, I don't know, early in the morning. Neither of us had time to shower or anything. We just kind of rolled out.
My water kept like leaking the whole way to the birth center too. So his truck was just like covered in it. My whole outfit. No. So they had to put me in like scrubs and this old t-shirt to go to the hospital.
How many inches, centimeters were you dilated when you got to the hospital?
3?
Well, I was 3 at the birth center. I don't know. I think you have to be, I don't know, because then they put me in the water because they had a tub at the hospital, which is what I wanted to do, was labor in the water. Mm-hmm. And she let me just kind of do my own thing. I think the midwife just kind of listened to my like moaning to kind of like time how long my contractions and how intense they were, to kind of tell me when it was time to get out and push. So I don't know, because we got there at 7:30 and I had the baby at 10:03. So I just
can't believe how fast your water broke to having a baby. Like that doesn't happen the first time usually, right?
Yeah.
It's 7 hours.
Yeah, no. So most women's labor is like a marathon. I told Tanner my labor was like a sprint. And
I'd rather a sprint probably.
But it's really intense that way because you're opening way too fast, or so like it's way more painful supposedly. I don't know, but and 7 hours seems like forever, but when you're in that moment, it's so fast. Like you don't have time to think. Like you're just focused on that. Tanner's sending you pictures and videos of me.
I can't wait. So Tanner, were you in the room the whole time? I know some men are, some men choose to be.
Yeah, no, I was there. I was there from stem to stern the whole way.
Did you look down there?
Yeah, like do you get squeamish?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a minute.
Okay. Continue the story.
Okay. And also, we need to bring up the fact that Jade went with her guts and she didn't have meds. No anesthesia.
Yeah, there was one point. So what they call is like transition is like where the baby actually moves its body into like the birth canal.
Oh, God.
And that's supposed to be the hardest part. And that's like the point where I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this without meds. Like there was a time that thought flashed in my head and I was like, no, wait, like this is what I came here to do. And I just kept telling myself like I can do this like in my head, you know, and I got through it, but.
And then, so I just sent you some photos. So Jade spent like an hour and a half in the tub, just kind of moaning and groaning, blah, blah, blah. All right, so Jade spent like a total of probably an hour and a half in the tub. And my mom finally showed up at the hospital like halfway through. And she brought us breakfast just because she didn't know if we were going to be hungry or whatever. So I'm sitting there eating McDonald's McMuffins while Jade's in the tub. And Jade starts screaming at me because of the smell of it.
Oh, well, that's what I'm noticing here. When the pictures, you're holding a barf bag.
I mean, if someone was eating an Egg McMuffin in front of me and I was giving labor, I couldn't think of anything more torturous.
And it smelled so bad because I threw up 3 times because from like they say it's from the hormone changes or something, from all the hormones like preparing your body to push the child out. And so I was throwing up and I was so sick and the smell was so intense. And Tanner was laughing instead of doing something about it. And I looked at him like, I am going to murder you. You're laughing at me.
Tanner,
so
why
Tanner,
were you laughing,
Tanner? I'm just so glad that Tanner stayed true to himself in this process.
Yeah. So,
he didn't become a father until Emerson came out, clearly. The minute right up until.
Yeah, until it actually comes, it's not a dad. But I had 2 bites left of my McMuffin when Jade started losing her shit. So naturally, I finished them and went over to help her.
Hey, McDonald's.
Sponsorship.
They should do McDelivery for your actual delivery. That's a great one.
Right? But by this time, the midwife came back in and she's like, all right, we're close. Let's get her out of the tub, up onto the delivery bed, whatever you call it. And that's where the real stuff started happening.
Yeah. That's like when they tell you like time to push. And that's like when the baby pretty much starts like crowning and all that stuff. And by this point, like you're so tired and you get like my contractions were so, I just got no breaks that it just felt good to push because I knew she was coming.
Yeah. Just get it over
and so,
with.
Yeah. So even though it's like super painful, like if he sends you, I don't know, videos, I'm probably like screaming.
I love that you're so open to sending us these videos.
I know, me
I'm
too.
going to watch them all day.
So for people listening that don't know what the video is.
Can I just, so there's some videos of her pushing and just like looking like she's being utterly tortured in the tub. Jade, it looks unnatural. Like it really looks like an unnatural process that the body wasn't equipped to do.
And then Tanner takes the phone and like smiles in it.
Smiling. It's so funny.
I
It's the best.
Oh man.
I know. It's ridiculous. But
I was trying to keep the mood light.
yeah.
You know what? That's one thing you can count on Tanner for sure. I love that.
Yeah, for sure.
But he actually, besides like making fun of me, like when it was time for me to push and like all that stuff, like I was telling you, Ashley, I was like, just wait in here. Like, cause he was like a badass too, because the midwife was not going to let him get away with like not being active in in my labor. Mm-hmm. So she was like, you come sit here. And she like made him sit like right on the edge of the bed, like right near the business.
Yeah. She brought me on the side of the curtain.
And she was like, okay, you're going to help me with this. And she was like, you can stick your hand in there if you want to feel the baby's head.
Yeah, she made me put my hand inside her to feel the baby's head. And I was just like in shock. I would have done anything she said at this point because I just was following orders. But it was crazy.
So what did that feel like?
Yeah, emotionally and physically.
Physically, pretty terrible. Emotionally. But yeah, you just had to like stick your finger in and it stopped when you hit a head. I don't know. Pretty weird.
Did you feel Emerson's head? Like you felt?
Yeah, you could feel the hair on her head. It was
Which is one thing I don't get. How do they grow hair in your body? That's crazy.
That is weird.
But it's very, she has such a full head of it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she has so much hair.
She won't be needing sugar bear hair for a while.
So Tanner, were you like were you like turned off by all of this anatomy happening, or did you like actually think it was beautiful?
Actually, I wasn't turned off at all because I thought I would be because my dad actually told me horror stories of what he saw. Wasn't his opinion, but luckily I didn't have the same reaction as my old man did.
So how would you describe the experience?
I was just kind of impressed. What did you say?
How would you like describe the experience then? Like, how did you look at it?
It was out of body for me, honestly, because I was going on a few hours of sleep, and it was just kind of a whirlwind experience that we weren't ready for. Mm-hmm. But I was more just in awe of Jade and how strong she was being, because it happened quick. It was a fast labor, and she was just in constant pain. And I was just hoping everything was going to come out okay, because the baby was so early, and my mind was racing with a bunch of like worst case scenario deals, but it all worked out good.
Yeah.
Was there part of you guys that was like, wow, a month early? We thought we had a month more to prepare, like emotionally and mentally, and actually like getting everything put together?
Completely. I mean, we didn't have like the nursery ready, any of those items, but those weren't like the things we needed to prepare for most. I think mentally, neither of us were quite ready. Just to like be parents. I don't think anyone is that very first time. You don't know what to expect, and you always have this idea of September in your mind, and then it happens in August, and you know, it's a weird deal.
I had this feeling I was going to have her early, and I even told my mom, like, because my mom was here on Monday and Tuesday, left Wednesday morning, and then had to back on Thursday morning because I went into labor, because she was here helping me get some stuff ready. And I told her, I feel like if I just surrendered to how my body's feeling, I would have this baby.
Wow.
Like it felt like I was kind of resisting something because I was so scared to have her this early, because she's considered late term premature. But I think like it's still like we're still kind of processing that we had the baby of 4 weeks early. We're not emotionally, mentally prepared yet.
I know, and it's only been a week. So what does that mean exactly, late term premature?
It's just like so 37 weeks is considered like term. So their lungs are fully developed. Their brain is still developed. Like there's some like brain development that's still happening in the womb. And that's why they want you to have your baby stay as long as possible. But so they were just worried about like some lung issues, some liver issues. It's just like some of those organs are still like slowly fine tuning. So she just came a little early, and that's why they consider it that.
But she was almost 7 pounds, right? And that's pretty much
she
healthy
was
weight.
Yeah, she was big.
She was 6 pounds 8 ounces.
Which is good, because typical babies at this stage of the game are probably going to be like 5 pounds and be a lot smaller.
My mom is convinced you guys got pregnant in November and didn't know, and they've all messed up.
My mom's theories about you guys are hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, they with all the like tests that they do, they definitely said that it was on point, which is crazy. But I mean, when I went in for my 30-week appointment, the midwife told me, she's like, "You're going to have an 8-pound baby." So if I would have gone 40 weeks, I probably would have had an 8.5-pound baby.
Wow.
So when you brought Emerson home, were you there like a thought? You're like, so now what? Now we raise this baby.
Like, Lauren is so fascinated.
I think it's crazy. It's like, all right, put the baby down and let's.
I know, it's like
let's raise a kid.
There's no other moment where your life literally changes in seconds.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that feeling when you bring home a new puppy, but times a million, because.
That's
it's like now you have this child forever, and you're responsible for like making sure it's safe. You know, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, like when it annoys you, you can't get rid of it. My mom used to try and leave me in the grocery store, and she's like, they never kidnapped you.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I was
weird.
too quick.
If you have a new dog and they like pee on the floor, you can yell at them, be mad at them.
Yeah.
When the baby does anything at all like bad, you can't be mad at it. It's just a different feeling.
I wish I was a baby.
All right, before we continue with this story, I need to take a moment for one of my favorite sponsors, BioClarity. You guys know why I love BioClarity. It's because it doesn't have any weird, harsh chemicals. Everything is in naturally calming and cleansing extracts. It includes green tea and chamomile. It soothes and cools skin with cucumber and oatmeal extracts. It doesn't use benzoyl peroxide, which for me personally causes redness, dryness, and irritation. This stuff has significantly reduced the amount of pimples on my face. It's also reduced the oiliness and shininess that I usually get, but it doesn't dry me out. To try out BioClarity, and this is such a popular sponsor of ours. I've got so many tweets about how people have tried BioClarity because of us and how much they love it. So first you got to go to bioclarity.com. Then you can plug in our code GET IT, and our listeners are going to get their first month for $9.95 plus free shipping. That is a $20 savings, and it comes with a 100% risk-free money-back guarantee, but you need to enter our code. That is GET IT, GETIT. So head on over to bioclarity.com to get yourself some clear skin. All right, I want to talk about like the moment she came out and like the love that overcomes.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty insane because even though I was in a ton of pain, it's still really exciting. Like my adrenaline was so up, and like you can like I still felt like all the like excitement and all the like love, and like even like Tanner was, even though he's like joking, like he was super encouraging and like kissing me on the forehead and like all this stuff. So you feel kind of like this like, oh, do you hear her?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
That just happened.
We just heard Emerson. She's on the podcast.
Oh my God, this is her first
Debut.
appearance.
I know.
Guys.
This is
Exclusive.
So cute.
Actually, not true because Emerson had a photo shoot this morning
that's right.
that I saw. I watched
yeah.
live on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we did a cute little newborn.
She made a mess though.
She did make a
She
mess.
pooped everywhere.
Which Jade and Tanner, can I just say real quick? I had anxiety watching the live because I was like, "You better be careful with this child." Like I was like watching her.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
we do a background check on this photographer?
Yeah.
She seems awesome. The photographer, she seems good.
She's done like all of our photos. She's done like even like since our engagement photos. So
Aw.
they're good friends of ours.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, continue with the moment that she came out.
Oh yeah. So you feel like you can feel like the moment, especially like when you're crowning. They you can just like feel like the like this like momentous. Yeah, I don't know. Like you could. It's just this big moment, and then you can feel her like come out, and it's so weird because it all comes out, and all this relief comes, and then you like the Tanner and the midwife caught the baby, and I turned around because I gave birth on all fours for one, and so I turned around and they hand me Emerson, and it was just like Ashley. I totally did the Ashley I ugly cry. I was just like, we watched the video of it because we had a birth photographer there who did video, and in my face, I'm just like wide open, just like ugly crying.
That's amazing.
But it's just like, this is my baby. Like, it's just so unbelievable that you created this life and it comes out of you. And it's just like, it's the most amazing feeling ever. It's really incredible.
Were you
Tanner?
also like, oh my God, my baby's not ugly? Yes.
Well, no, it's weird.
Because they're ugly when they come out.
When they come out, they're purple, they're slimy, and she had a cone head like she was from the movies.
It had to fit through
Because
the
it
hole.
pushes that little hole, and it's like it's a legit cone. It's twice as long as it is now.
When does it flatten?
Are you what?
What do
When
you
does
mean?
it-
You flatten it? It's because all the fluid. It's
Yeah,
like
but
up
like,
like
just
hair
naturally
gel.
compress.
Yeah, like over like
Well, they
48
clean
hours,
it.
it went back to normal.
Hair, like the
skull.
actual
Wait,
head.
Tanner, her actual head was a cone? I thought you were talking about her hair.
Her head.
No.
No, the
the
head itself.
head.
Like, because babies' heads are like soft, so they can get through like the hole. But it's
No
a-
way.
Google this because it's a full cone head. It almost makes you like worry that something was wrong with your kid at first.
Wow. I would
Oh,
be
that's
scared
good to know
too.
I have
ahead
a
of
question,
time.
Jade. When the baby comes out, like, does your stomach like kind of go back to normal or like right away?
It goes like half down because the uterus still has to shrink. So you still look 6 months pregnant for like the first like 48 hours probably.
So
yeah.
is your stomach kind of normal now?
It's normal. It's pretty normal now. It's still like if I like, it's still squishy, but it went down.
Okay.
Can we be
Yeah.
gross and talk about afterbirth?
Oh, that's not gross.
Oh, it wasn't?
Did you see the afterbirth? Were we not?
I was there.
I love you guys so much.
But no, so after she was born, they let Tanner cut the umbilical cord. And so after that happens, then you have to give birth to the placenta. And by then I was flipped around on my back, and I felt like it was so much harder to push it out. And I don't know if it was just because the change in position or if it was I was just so exhausted and all my adrenaline had kind of like transitioned or something, but you have to like push that out too, and they push on your stomach, and that part like it sucks. But
Ew.
yeah.
Are you going to
okay.
eat your placenta?
No, we didn't keep it.
Okay.
I felt like you would have.
Yeah.
Me too.
I kind of want
We
to.
talked about it. I was like, should I do this? Should I? Because you can get it in capsules,
Yeah.
like so in pill form, which isn't as weird.
Yeah.
But because we were just not prepared, I just didn't even care at that point. I was like, I don't care.
I don't even eat lettuce. I'm not eating your goddamn placenta.
But Tanner, you're not going to
eat
sell
it.
it on eBay. I'd be like,
the century.
I'd be like, put that in a box. We are putting that shit on eBay. Jade's placenta. Let's milk this shit.
You guys, why did you do it on all fours? It actually seems like to be a more comfortable position. Not that I've ever been in such.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so it's just like I kind of was kneeling, kind of. So you know how the hospital beds can like. Oh. Do you hear?
Yeah.
Monkey.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
So the
Hi,
hospital,
Emerson.
you say hi.
Hi,
She's
Emmy. I love you.
Love
she's
you.
having little baby dreams, whatever babies dream about.
Emmy, they
What
dream
do
about like
babies dream
land.
of?
When they take a little baby snooze.
But yeah, so the beds, you know how like they angle up, like you can like position them up, so I was leaning against the back of the bed, so I was kind of like like kneeling, squatting, kind of in a way.
It looks easier though, because like gravity just takes work that way, you know.
Yeah, and it just felt so natural. I don't know how women give birth on their backs. Like it just felt like I couldn't do it any other way. I told Tanner, I said, I don't think I could have done it on my laying on my back, and for the midwife told me that that's the only hospital that she works with because no other hospital will let you do it that way.
Okay. That's
insane. I kind of feel like, it's a huge strain on your back. I could my back's hurting right now.
I don't even
thinking
sleep
about
on my back. I don't feel very natural on my back.
Thinking about giving birth on my knees is making me almost less anxious about the
That's
day.
Me
so
too.
true, and
Like
I never
if I
thought
was just
about
like
that.
squatting or whatever.
Well, think about like when you push. Okay, this is a weird analogy, but it's honestly like so. Like when you're pushing a poop out, like you don't poop laying down.
Nope.
Like that's that's kind of like the same thing. Like it would be so much harder. So I just don't understand. That's what I don't know.
Naz even has that poop stool that
have
Todd
the
told us
squatty
about.
potty.
The squatty potty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the squatty potties.
I'm delivering my baby on the baby squatty.
They have you can squat. They have squatting bars in some hospitals where you can actually hold onto a bar and squat and push your baby
Wait, this
out.
is so informative, Jade. I feel like everyone should do this. Why? I wonder why people do it on their back. That's so
weird.
interesting.
I don't know. I think it's just the norm, that women don't question it. They just kind of go with what hospitals tell you to do. And plus in that moment, because you're terrified, I mean, you're so worried about your baby. You don't really you're experiencing the most pain you've ever felt. You're kind of, if someone's telling you that you need to give birth in your back, you're probably just going to do it,
That's what I love about you is I feel like you've always, in every aspect of your life, have questioned everything, and you do so much research, and you always do what's the best for you and your body and your baby.
Yeah, I like to think so. Thank you.
Wait, Jade, what was I guess talking about pain, because you said it's the worst pain ever, and this question might be annoying, so you don't have to answer it, but is it so painful that you're never again in the moment, I will never do this again?
No.
Would you do it with meds next time?
No, I would probably do it the same way because your body is producing so many hormones at this time when you're going through all the pain. Like I said, my adrenaline was so crazy. After I pushed the baby out, my legs would not stop shaking for probably 5 minutes from the adrenaline. And so it's carrying you all through. Oxytocin is the love hormone. So you're feeling that. So you're feeling all this love for your baby, and you're just so excited while you're feeling the pain that you just go with it. So I would do it again. I told Tanner, I go, as crazy as this sounds, I would do it again. And I had to get a stitch. I tore.
I was going to ask that, but I
feel
didn't
that
want to be
happens
rude.
most of the time. I thought that was pretty normal, or they would cut it and then they stitch you up.
No, I think that used to be really common, but now it's they try not to do it because otherwise that's snipping your two holes together. That's terrible.
What was the first thing you ate when you were done?
What did I eat?
Have you had sushi yet?
No, we're getting it tonight because it's just been such a whirlwind. We haven't even.
Have you been drinking?
No, I haven't.
You're breastfeeding. Can you not drink when you're breastfeeding?
Oh, that's a good question.
So you can have I could have a beer or a glass of wine or something, and it'll metabolize within an hour. And so it wouldn't get into the breast milk if I wanted to, or you can just pump and dump, but I have a breast pump. I just haven't used it yet.
The old pump and dump.
Yeah.
Tanner, your quotes right now are on fire.
Well, speaking of Tanner and just being funny, Jade, what's the most impressive thing Tanner has done in this whole experience, and vice versa?
I really just think it was just that he actually went down there because I didn't think he was gonna get in my business while literally a child is coming out of there. Because, you always wonder if guys are like freaked out about that. So I was really impressed because I could hear them talking back there. And I'm like, is he back there? And then she's like, stick your hands in. And then I was like, oh my God, he's really doing this. And so to me, that was just really impressive that he was wanting to be so involved. And then he was pretty encouraging. So I would say towards the end when I was pushing, he was like telling me like, you can do this and stuff like that. So it was very encouraging.
So cute. Tanner?
Well, it's hard not to say just the actual birth and doing it without drugs, because that's impressive in its own right, of course. Mm-hmm. But I would honestly say just like the instant motherhood that kicked in with her, and she hasn't griped at all about like diapers, feedings, no sleep, anything. She's just really trooped through this first week and made it really easy on me. But she's been a great mom to Emerson. And I think that almost even supersedes the birth time.
Oh, Jade, you said that you feel like
my heart
more
is melting
right and full of love than ever before this week.
Yeah. No, like it's insane. Like, people always say this, you don't realize how much you can love somebody until you have a kid, but it's wild. Like there's one night where she was up every hour and I got no sleep and I was just like crying from being tired. And I was like, but I can't even be mad at you because I just look at your face and there's just like, oh, sorry guys.
No, we're crying.
We're crying.
But it's just like this crazy love.
Oh God, we're a mess over here. We love you guys.
Guys, can you adopt
But no, it makes me love like I was saying, it makes me love like everything even more. Like I love Tanner more. I love I was saying like I love my dogs more. Like I thought maybe like I'd come home and I'd be like, oh, you guys are just dogs now. But it makes me like love them even more. Like it's your heart is just so full. Like it's unbelievable.
Oh my God. I feel like we got it.
But
we're trying to pull it together here.
You guys, how's the dogs been? For real, do they love her?
So when we brought her home, they thought she was a toy for them. They were like super excited and they were like trying to like jump at her and like we were like, okay, no, you have to be careful. And then they realized this was like a fragile life, I think. But they both love her. They both are
They're very calm.
They're very calm, but they're very curious. So sometimes like I'm on the couch and I'm nursing, they'll like come up and they'll try to like sniff her. And they like, you can tell that they want to know who she is or what she is. But they're still a little like apprehensive, but they do like her.
Okay. I'm sure it's only like 7 days in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah.
Speaking of dogs, I want to stop for a second and tell everyone about this awesome new product that Ashley and Lauren and I discovered called Whistle. And Whistle is this device that attaches to your pet's collar, and it really pretty much allows you to track their location and activity from an app on your phone. The reason why we love it is because I get to take care of Gergie every now and then. I get so excited when I get to. And Ashley and Lauren from home, whenever they go back home to Virginia, they can actually look on their app and see how many walks Gergie has been on. You can literally track down and locate your pet on your phone. Like, what else could you ask for? So anyone that's listening right now can, just for a limited time, all of our listeners can get $25 off a Whistle device when you use our code GETIT. That's GETIT. Again, just go to whistle.com, type in GETIT, GETIT. That's all together at checkout, and you'll get $25 off. And it's a smarter way to care for your best friend.
Before we leave, we have to talk about how you guys were able to conceive so easily using the Ava bracelet.
Yes. Yeah, no, we started using the Ava bracelet last October, and that just was helping me like track my cycle because we were like we were talking about trying, and then we were like, let's actively try. And so we wanted to find out like my most fertile days, and it gives you like your fertile window. And then you were there, Ashley and Lauren, when we were in the Bahamas, and that was when I was ovulating.
That was the fertile window.
That was the fertile window.
Does it give you a certain amount of hours that you're like the highest fertile?
It's like 5 days or something. So those are days it tells you to try. And so that's when we tried, and that's when we got pregnant in December. So it only took us like 3 months really. And so it's just nice because it tells you like your sleep patterns, and then like your hormone, like it's like all these like your stress levels and all these like other variables that could be like affecting your ovulation, besides just like I don't know, because like some women only keep track of like a calendar, an ovulation calendar, but it factors in all these other things. So you can tell like, oh my gosh, I've been so stressed this month. Maybe that's why we didn't get pregnant. So then, you can like, try to like manage your stress and stuff like that. So it's really a cool bracelet.
And you can get all the information right there on your phone on the Ava app, right?
Yeah, so they have an app. So every morning you can check your app and see all the stuff. So it's really easy. So it just makes it easier, I feel like. And so we were just like, we just always knew when we could try. I don't know, I guess is how I would describe it.
She sounds like a unicorn.
I love her.
I think that's what a unicorn sounds like.
Little celebrity.
Well, I do want to ask about like, I feel like what's interesting about this bracelet is if you are stressed and your period's delayed, it'll catch that, right? Because I've had times where obviously I have nothing to worry about. I've like come up with these crazy ideas in my head when my period's a day or so late because I am so regular that I'd be like, oh, maybe you like sat on a bed and like a guy had like dumped his sperm on the bed like an hour
first day
earlier.
of freshman year in college, first time she's ever sat on another guy's bed.
Yeah.
She was late on her period. And
You
she
guys,
goes, sperm got in my vagina.
I had
and I got
never
pregnant.
been late in my life. Up
amazing.
until this point, and then it was my first week of college, and I was an entire week late. So obviously, it was like the synchronization with all the other girls, and just like such a life change. But I was convinced that I had sat on some guy's bed.
And you had baby Jesus
That is
inside
so
of
funny.
Yes. So anyway, I guess even if you're not trying to get pregnant, if you do need a more like a better strategy to keep track of your period, the Ava bracelet also works for
Wait,
that.
I feel like Tanner was about to say something funny.
I was just gonna say that explains why I always saw Ashley in Paradise sitting on Jared's bed. It all
She
makes
was
sense
like,
now.
she's like, I
Moving
hope
her baby
these,
to the side. So
these skin cells from the pillow inseminate.
Oh, that was a good one,
my
Tanner.
God. Well, we love you guys. Can we come visit?
Yeah, come
Once
visit us.
Emerson's like,
But like
obviously.
obviously,
let
whenever
you guys
you're
look
ready,
for a
if you need help.
We'll give you free room and board. You have to change one diaper per day, though.
No, we'll
Okay.
literally
Change
take
every
care of
diaper.
her.
I'd probably
All
be
right, deal.
your child is probably the only diaper I'll ever touch besides my own,
That's so funny.
including your children, Lauren.
Thank you, Ashley.
Ashley wears diapers every night.
Diapers aren't that bad though, because Tanner was complaining the whole pregnancy about changing diapers, and he's like you've probably changed like 10 diapers already.
Mm-hmm.
So
Way to go,
He's changed-
Tanner.
yeah, he's changed some diapers.
Tanner, are you
And-
good at it? I feel like it's like a skill.
I mean, it's not rocket science.
The first couple months isn't just pure mush.
Yeah, they don't really stink, honestly, that early on because they're not eating like whole foods. Everyone says that it gets worse then. But like the first like 2-3 days, it's just black tar. It's so weird.
That's so crazy. It's like having a little alien.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, it comes out and it's like all like bubbles out.
Jesus.
Humans, guys, we're weird.
Oh,
We come out of bodies, and then we like grow up with these people whose bodies we came out of.
And then I like yell at my mom, and I'm like, oh my God, she went through all of this just for me to be here.
Yeah, it makes you appreciate your parents more.
It definitely does.
How have your parents been?
Oh, they can't get enough.
Yeah, my mom texts me like every day. She's like, send me pictures. How's Emmy? Tanner's mom's been over here. Like, she makes excuses to come over.
That's adorable.
I'm sure she is. Well, we send our mom pictures of Emmy every day, too. I'm not even joking you.
Yeah.
I love that she has like so many followers on Instagram. Like, who is Northwest anymore? Nobody.
I know Tanner started that account. He's like super obsessed
Yeah,
with like,
Jade resisted it at first. This was
Like-
my doing. But
No,
Yeah.
Tanner, you are so smart, and I can't wait for her to be the next Gerber baby.
Exactly.
All right, guys. You
you
are
so
the
much
very
for coming
greatest. Thank you so much for taking your time out of your first week as parents to come on and talk about this experience.
And congratulations on being new
Yeah, of
parents. And we know you're going to be the greatest parents, and we can't wait to meet Emmy in person.
Let us know if there's anything you need from us.
Thank you. Yeah, you guys have to come visit.
Thanks, guys.
We love you so
Love you.
much.
Love you guys. Love you, Emmy.
Bye.
We love you.
Bye.
I love you too.
Tanner,
Oh my
you're
God,
the
I'm gonna
best.
miss it.
Bye.
Bye.
I don't get it.
Podcast.